This video is going to be about the Dred Scott decision. It's going to be a Supreme Court case decision in by 1857, but it's going to start all the way back in the 1820s. As of right now, in the 1820s, we have the Missouri Compromise, where anything above, there's M.O., in the United States, lovely Florida. Okay, that is supposed to be the United States, USA. Okay, so the Missouri Compromise is anything above the 3630 line, which we should already know about. So anything above the 3630 line is supposed to be free. Above here, anything below is supposed to be slave. So this is all going to happen in the 1820s with the Missouri Compromise. Now, with this in place, Dred Scott is going to be a slave, and he's going to be bounced around for a while. He's going to be owned by a man named John Emerson, and he's going to be taken into the Illinois Territory, which is in the Free Territory. So Illinois was right by the Great Lakes, so Illinois. And then he's going to stay there for a while, and then he's going to go. So he's a slave inside of a Free Territory, and then he's going to go into the Wisconsin Territory, which is also in the Free Territory, so he's going to bounce from Illinois to Wisconsin, and then in 1837 he's going to go all the way back down to Louisiana, and where his owner is going to die, and then he's going to, his wife is going to lease him out for a while, and then not Dred Scott's wife. John Emerson's wife is going to lease Dred Scott out for a while, and then she's going to basically transfer ownership to her brother, who is John Sanford. And John Sanford is going to move him back to Missouri. Yes. He's going to move Dred Scott back to Missouri, and Dred Scott is going to start to go to the Supreme Court and say that, he is above this 3630 line, and so he deserves to be free, especially with him living in Louisiana and Wisconsin during long periods of time. So we need to know that Dred Scott is going to be a slave, and he's going to sue for his freedom when he was taken into a free territory. When the Missouri Compromise was in place. So he's going to use the court system. Now the Supreme Court, because he is suing, and Sanford's from New York, and so because he's suing a man from New York, it turns into a federal court case, which can go to the U.S. Supreme Court. So in 1857, the U.S. Supreme Court will rule two very distinct things that are completely wrong and will mess up our history for forever. That Dred Scott, since he is a slave, he is not a citizen and can't take the case to court. Because he's not a citizen, he has no rights to go into the court system. And also that slaves are property. The slaves were property and they were not citizens, and because they're not citizens, they can't go to court. Another huge problem that the Supreme Court is going to rule for, which shouldn't be ruled against, is the Missouri Compromise. They further say that the Missouri Compromise is unconstitutional because Congress cannot deprive an owner of their property without due process. So it has to be illegal in order for the government to take your property away. So, if you don't pay your mortgage on your house, the bank can take it, or if you don't pay payments on your car, you see that lizard lick towing come and take your car, that kind of stuff. So Missouri Compromise is unconstitutional because this was passed by Congress saying you cannot take slaves into this territory and have them stay slaves. So that's depriving a private ownership of their property. So it's like, if this line was drawn saying above this line you can't have your iPhone. And so that's depriving you of your property above that line. So the Supreme Court is going to rule that slaves are property, not citizens, and the Missouri Compromise is constitutional. So this court case is going to make popular sovereignty An empty phrase. Because why would states need to vote now to be free or slave when property can be taken anywhere? Slavery is now everywhere in the United States, and we don't have to have a Bleeding Kansas situation anymore because there shouldn't be any fighting over it, because this popular sovereignty, this whole voting for slave or free states, is going to be taken away by this court case because slaves are property and they can be taken anywhere in the United States.